Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is TK. It is Monday, December the 8th. We're here to look at the new releases that are published this week in Cozy Mysteries. I need a sip. Or a gulp. I just was wrestling Keo to put some ointment on his feet. Alright, so quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do my Monday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We go every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoons. Our next morning show after this is Wednesday, where we look at the darker side. Crime fiction and thrillers. But today is cozies. Not a whole lot. I think as we're getting closer to Christmas, it's going to be fewer and fewer. I hope I'm wrong, but not a whole lot this week. First up, A Grave Deception by Connie Berry, 6 in the Kate Hamilton mysteries. I have read the first one. I keep meaning to get back to it. Kate Hamilton and her husband, Detective Inspector Tom Mallory, have settled into married life in Long Barston. When archaeologists excavating the ruins of a nearby plague village discover the miraculously preserved body of a 14th century woman, Kate and her colleague Ivor Tweedy are asked to appraise the grave goods, including a valuable pearl. When tests revealed the woman was pregnant and murdered, the owner of the estate on which the body was found, an amateur historian, asked Kate to identify her and, if possible, her killer. Surprised, Kate agrees to try. From the 14th century? Get real. Meanwhile, tensions within the archaeological team erupt when the body of the lead archaeologist turns up at the dig site with fake pearls in his mouth and stomach. Then a third body is found in the excavations. Meanwhile, Kate's husband Tom is tracking the movements of a killer of his own. With the help of 700-year-old documents and the unpublished research of a deceased historian, Kate must piece together the past before the grave count reaches forward. Murder in Manhattan by Julie Mulhern. New York, 1925. Freddie Archer, frequents speakeasies and wild parties with her friends Dorothy Parker and Tallulah Bankhead. And the best part is that it's all in a day's work. Freddie loves her job writing the nightlife column for Gotham magazine. But Freddie's latest piece just won her a bit more attention than she's bargained for from the police. A man mentioned in her column has been murdered, and Freddie is asked to keep an eye out for his fashionable female dinner companion. She's told in no uncertain terms to stay out of the case herself. So naturally, Freddie throws herself into an investigation that takes her from the elegant stores that line Fifth Avenue to the tenements south of Houston, or is it Houston Street? Now, between sipping gin rickeys with Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald and casting Broadway shows with Groucho Marx, she's dodging bullets and dating a potentially dangerous bootlegger. Freddie wanted adventure and excitement, but will she survive it? Murder on a Frosty Night by Verity Bright, 24th in the Lady Eleanor Swift mysteries. Winter, 1925. Eleanor and Hugh are decking the halls for their first married Christmas together when butler Clifford arrives with a mysterious telegram. A lucrative case awaits their new detective agency, but in the most remote county in England. The note insists they must be there by midnight to accept the job. After a snowy journey, they arrive at the tiny hamlet of Yorlow to find their client, Osmond Unwin, dead in the churchyard as midnight mass ends. They realize they are now in the absurd situation of having to solve the murder of their own client, who they never met, to solve a case they know nothing about and officially never accepted. There is very little festive goodwill to go around, as it seems half the village had a grudge against the rich man. Was it one of the Frisham sisters, owners of the tavern and rumored to be in a love triangle with Unwin, or perhaps his maid, who never had a nice thing to say about him? When another body is found in the ruins of the castle overlooking the town, Eleanor is baffled. Clearly there's more to this nightmare before Christmas than the gang first thought. A Bone to Pick by Liliana Hart, 2nd in the Mabel McCoy mysteries. intentionally, the cover reminds me of those 1950s. I like it. When Reverend George Pickering and Ruby Bailey were found shot to death at Grim Island's most notorious lovers' lane, the scandal rocked the tight-knit community to its core. A minister and his mistress, their bodies staged in a lover's embrace. It was the kind of murder that should have been solved, but bungled evidence, lying witnesses, and 3 false confessions turned the case ice cold. Until now. Mabel McCoy is perfectly content running her tea shop and dressing her bulldog in bow ties until Sheriff Dash Beckett hands her and the Silver Sleuths a dusty case file that sets their inner detectives ablaze. Armed with nothing but determination, vintage dresses, and a posse of gun-toting seniors who remember 1982 like it was yesterday, that is not being a senior. Thank you very much. Mabel starts asking questions that someone definitely doesn't want answered because the killer isn't dead. They're not even gone. They're right here on Grim Island sipping sweet tea and keeping their secrets, and they'll do whatever it takes to make sure Mabel doesn't live long enough to expose them. Apparently Liliana Hart, the author, is young and thinks remembering 1982 means you're old. Get real. End of row 1. I'm banning that book just on that. Good morning, Mary. Happy Monday. Yes, I know. I finally showed up. Sorry about the absence. Sleep cycle was completely off and woke up all last week too late to catch you. That's okay. You know I say sleep is good. And this is early. These things happen. You'll Regret It by Addie McEwen, 4th in the Northwoods Mysteries. It's Christmas time in the Northwoods, and Emmy Cooper is ready to deck the halls, frost the cookies, and enjoy Covington's biggest event of the year, the annual Christmas celebration. Visitors flock to the festive lakeside town where Emmy's family runs the Cooper's Cove Resort for holiday treats, handmade crafts, and the beloved tree lighting ceremony led by none other than Santa Claus himself. But when Emmy stumbles across a very dead Santa, the season takes a chilling turn. With Emmy's boyfriend, Officer Dean Erickson, trying to keep the investigation under wraps, Emmy and her best friend Whitney find themselves more tangled in this mystery than in last year's Christmas lights. Between town gossip, a Scrooge of a new health inspector, and long-buried secrets rising to the surface, Emmy's holiday cheer is draining faster than old Robert's eggnog. Unraveling the killer's identity might take a Christmas miracle, and Emmy's running out of time. If she's not careful, she just might be the next one slayed. An Ambush of Tigers by Sarah Yarwood Lovett, 7th in the Dr. Nell Ward Mysteries. After a dazzling Indian wedding, Nell and Rav return to a frost-kissed Finchmere, eager to host their blessing in the woodland Nell loves best. But as their nearest and dearest gather, someone is setting a deadly snare. The country estate is in its winter finery, with new artisans creating crafts for the festive Finchmere Christmas market. Before the celebrations unfold, a shocking secret is revealed, which shows how their families were fatally intertwined centuries before Nell and Rav said "I do." As their newlywed bliss unravels, some of their party are poisoned, and Rav is forced to share the risk of losing those he loves. While Nell wrestles with her own family history, the tragedies of Rav's sow seeds of doubt as she hunts down the murderer. But Nell cannot expose the truth that will save Rav, his family, and their relationship without evidence. Using all her ecological skills and all her nerve, that's a new one. Usually it's wits, but this is ecological skills. Nell must set a dangerous trap for the most cold-blooded killer she's encountered yet. With the predator poised to pounce, can Nell lure them out of hiding before someone else she loves becomes their prey? See, they had to tie in that tiger thing again. Oh, yeah. Findings, Crimes, and a Chihuahua by Maya Black. Part of the Holiday Craft Caper 20 books. When bookbinder Celia Rodriguez inherits her grandmother's historic bindery in Pine Valley, she expects a quiet life of craft and restoration. But as Christmas approaches, the disappearance of priceless books from the town library draws her into an unexpected mystery. Alongside widowed detective Jamie Hernandez and her clever Chihuahua Taco, Celia must unravel a web of small town secrets before Pine Valley's literary heritage is lost forever. With her expertise in book restoration and paper art, Celia notices details others miss. But as she delves deeper into the mystery, she discovers that some of Pine Valley's most prominent citizens may have motives darker than paper dust. Can she trust the handsome detective with more than just the case? And will Taco's uncanny ability to sniff out clues help them solve the mystery before the Christmas Heritage Festival? Does your town have Christmas festivals? Mine doesn't. All these festivals. Can't we just have a Christmas by ourselves? And don't even say bah humbug, because everybody's partying. Solstice Secrets by Lauren Kay, second in the Village Apothecary Mysteries. The Longest Day, The Darkest Secrets, A Killer in the Shadows. It's not the longest day. Oh, are we summer? Okay. Yes, fine. Never mind. It is summer. Summer has arrived in Thornwick Green, and apothecary Ivy Blackthorn is finally finding her place in the charming Cotswold village. With the shadow of recent crimes behind her and a blossoming romance with vet Seb Ashworth. Oh, that's why it sounds familiar. I think I started the first book. I don't think I finished it. Ivy looks forward to the upcoming summer solstice celebration. But when ambitious newcomer Richard Pemberton arrives to lead the festivities, tensions simmer beneath the village's idyllic surface. Richard's grand plans threaten local traditions, and his arrogance has made him more enemies than friends. When Richard is found dead at the ancient stone circle after the solstice night, suspicion falls on everyone in the village. That's the people standing around. As dark secrets emerge and desperation mounts, Ivy must untangle a web of blackmail, financial troubles, and angry confrontations. But someone doesn't want the truth revealed, and as Ivy creeps ever closer to unmasking the killer, she places herself in mortal danger once again, and the flames of the solstice might just claim another victim. Except this was after the solstice. End of that row. Mary says, woke up to a slight dusting of snow. Had a little the other day, but long gone. This won't last, but the wind is blowing and it is cold. 25 degrees and up to 36 today. Wow. Well, you've had snow too. We have. It's been melting, which makes Keo very sad because he likes to eat it. But this week is going to be bizarre. 40s today, 50s tomorrow, high of 11 on Friday. That is Montana. And she says, had a show yesterday. Oh, nice. And turned out pretty good. New one for me and hope to do it again, even though it is an hour away from home. Well, if you have good results. Nice people and enjoyed myself. Half of it, in my opinion. Wow. Yay. That makes you feel good. Any more shows between now and Christmas? Evil at Tea Time by Anne Rose, third in the International Foodie Mysteries. A British country estate at Christmas, a mystery movie shoot, a surprise visit from my in-laws. What do they have in common? My holiday from hell. When I accompanied Reed, my actor husband, to a sprawling Cotswolds estate to film a murder mystery, I thought I had the loving wife part down and we'd be smooth sailing. But then my in-laws show up to surprise their popsicle for their holidays, and the owner of the estate drops dead at tea time. Thankfully, neither Reed nor I is a suspect this time. But my mother-in-law is. All right, yes, I guess you try. Once again, I'm back in the amateur sleuth saddle, but to save the woman who thinks my casserole is so refreshingly simple, it will take a lot more than detective skills. My grandma always said family gatherings were murder. I thought she was talking about the cooking. And I forgot to click on it. We'll give it its moment. I kind of do like the cover. But that's about it. One more show next Saturday and then done for the year. Ready for them to be over. So much work setting up and taking down. That's true. Not to mention packing the car. Yeah. Fun making stuff for them, though. Yeah. That's the fun part. You need a minion. Ms. Mia and Murder at the Italian Villa. Fifth in the series by Jennifer Branch. Ms. Mia joins her childhood friend for a sunny family getaway at a luxurious Veneto villa. But when a family member is poisoned and the idyllic retreat spirals into a maze of secrets and suspicion, armed with wit, charm, see, I told you, you're armed with wit, charm and a glass of Prosecco, Ms. Mia dives into the investigation to catch a killer before they strike again, because murder never takes a holiday. Molly Jones and the Little Shop of Horrors by Maury Smith. Second in the Red Rock Ranch Mysteries. Molly Jones has never had her hands more full. Between wrangling kids, running the ranch, and chasing her dream of opening a boutique of vintage treasures with a side of fresh beef, naturally, she swore she was done stumbling over dead bodies. But trouble has a way of dropping in, literally. When a corpse tumbles out of the attic in the soon-to-be Red Rock shop, Molly is thrust back into mystery-solving mode. The suspects? Practically everyone with a tie to the old building. The complications? Oh, just a few. A karaoke fundraiser for the middle school cheerleaders, a rat with more than 9 lives that treats the feed barn like his personal kingdom, and prize calves vanishing into thin air. Now, that's the problem. Small town West Texas has never been short on gossip, grit, or good neighbors, but this time Millie will need every ounce of wit and grit she's got to keep her dream alive and catch a killer before the trail runs cold. The cover leaves a lot to be desired, but sounds cute. Not going to read it, but it sounds cute. A Feast to Die For by E. Hazard, fourth in the Velvet Scone Mysteries. In Willoughby, the annual 12 Tables of Christmas feast at St. Agatha's Parish Hall is the highlight of the summer holiday season. Oh, this is in New Zealand. Okay. With themed tables, lavish dishes, and fierce competition for the coveted Golden Ladle Award, the community is ready to celebrate in style. But the festivities come to a shocking halt when Trevor Pike, the arrogant chair of the Garden Society, collapses after sipping poisoned mulled wine. Known for his sharp tongue and endless feuds, Trevor made enemies at every table, leaving almost everyone a suspect. Cafe owner and amateur sleuth Tamsin Blake is determined to uncover the truth while juggling gingerbread Santas, cafe gossip, and even an ugly Christmas jumper contest. With Iris by her side, Inspector Crumpet squawking unhelpfully, I'm assuming that's a bird, and Detective Sergeant Cal Morgan frowning at her interference, Tamsin must untangle a web of secrets before the holiday season is ruined. Yeah, I can't imagine what that would be like. End of that row. Living in the southern hemisphere and having seasonal things be so different. Grilled Corruption by Erica J. Welton, second in the Burnt End Mystery. Jackie and Lauren Prescott thought running their inherited barbecue restaurant was the hardest challenge they'd face. They were wrong. When respected competition judge Tex Morrison dies from poisoning at the Prairie Rose Barbecue Championship, the sisters find themselves prime suspects in a murder investigation. Determined to clear their names and honor their friend's memory, they begin their own investigation, only to uncover a conspiracy that reaches far beyond a single death. What starts as a quest for justice reveals a massive criminal organization that has been systematically corrupting barbecue competitions across multiple states. With the help of Jackie's brilliant niece Melody and their growing ally Sheriff Martinez, they discover that Tex wasn't just a victim, he was an FBI informant gathering evidence against a network involving illegal gambling, money laundering, and competition manipulation worth millions of dollars, and on and on. Why would you give that away? Look at that. They probably gave the whole plot away and then... Ugh, I hate that. Let us read it and discover it. Digital Hearts and Deceptions by J.C. Valentine. 5th in the Seabreeze Cove Mysteries. Digital forensics expert Virginia Parker thought preserving Seabreeze Cove's charming history would be routine until she discovers a sophisticated conspiracy erasing the town's authentic past. Every record, every family legacy, and every innovation that threatens corporate interests, all surgically altered in databases worldwide. Cybersecurity consultant Michael Torres has tracked ghost hackers across continents, but he's never seen digital destruction this personal. When his investigation leads to Virginia's doorstep, he realizes the woman fighting to save the past might hold the key to preventing the future catastrophe. As they decode encrypted files revealing decades of suppressed innovations, including Catherine Stewart's buried legacy, Virginia and Michael race against hackers who can rewrite history with a keystroke. But in a town where love feels as fragile as deleted data, trusting each other becomes their most dangerous gamble. It says perfect for fans of Louise Penny's intricate mysteries. I don't feel that at all. And Debbie Maycomer's heartwarming romance where cutting-edge danger meets small-town charm. And that is all we have time for today. Only a couple more. I'll be checking before Friday to see if any more show up. Otherwise, on Friday, we might just be looking at other things of interest, and so forth. There's our bell. Well, thank you for watching. Mary says, I agree, not a penny in the least. Not at all. They just throw names out. I tell you. Thank you, Mary, for being here. Thank you, Cajun, for listening. Thank you for people watching or tuning in later. I appreciate you. Again, I don't have any sprints tonight. I do them every Tuesday and Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 6 p.m. my time. I can't start any earlier because I work, but I get here as quickly as I can. So 8 p.m. Eastern, and then 3 p.m. Saturday, and that one goes for 5 hours. Next morning show, as mentioned, is Wednesday. Barry says, thanks so much. Good to be back. It's good to see you. And stay warm and enjoy a new week. Back at you, baby. Maybe see you later. All right. Have a good Monday, everybody. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.